Exciting news as a new grant program is announced. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Morning's LALATE. Hope you're great. Get that toast ready, get it buttered up, unlike how Steve Mnuchin could handle Nancy Pelosi. Get that coffee ready, and we're ready for mornings. You've reached the weekend. Congratulations. It's Friday morning, and this is LALATE Mornings, always at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, with great news overnight about a new grant program that could put upwards of $10,000 in your pocket. Additionally, details about how EIDL loans, if you made $10,000 last year, gross revenue could give you a $5,000 loan overnight. Additionally, calculations about why, if you filed or were impacted by COVID-19 from March to July, you could get upwards of $16,000 in unemployment and FPUC still. And even under the Trump administration's executive order from July to September, you could get upwards of $3680. A lot of great numbers, a lot of great facts. Let me get right to the details. This channel is sort of evolving and is going to stay with you as the Hot Mess Express went off the tracks yesterday. And we're not going to belabor too much on what Nancy and Steve are going to do over the next few days. I'm going to give you a brief overview of it. Rather, what I'm focusing on now is the most important thing: getting money in your pocket. I'm here to ensure that you're informed about getting new money and great money in your pocket now, which you need. As you know, the second stimulus package chatter went off the tracks yesterday as Steve Mnuchin called up Nancy Pelosi, said, come back to the negotiation table, and she said, no, I'm not going to come back unless you come up with a higher second stimulus offer. Let me explain to you what the status is, because there's a lot of incorrect information out there. First, the congressional leaders, this is Congress, this is not the Trump administration's cabinet. The congressional leaders have left town now. Now, they have not left town permanently to September, and this is an important thing to understand. There was an agreement between Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi that everyone would return within 24 hours if there's an agreement between her and Steve Mnuchin on the second stimulus package. Additionally, if there was no agreement between McConnell and Nancy to get back into town and all her members, the president can order them back into town. But as you sit here and I sit here now, we all understand the severity of the situation, is that if Nancy and Steve don't want to meet and negotiate, no one is coming back into town. No one is voting. Moreover, I want to make the situation more clear to you than other channels are doing and broadcast news. There is no vote set up for September either. So don't assume that people are coming back in town in September and getting you a second stimulus check either. That's also untrue. Moreover, there's one key factor and one key date you need to understand. Late September is a government shutdown date. And so this could all tee up to an enormous government shutdown. So one, members of Congress can return if there's agreement between Nancy and Steve. Two, there's currently no agreement between Nancy and Steve to come back to a negotiation table. Three, there's no agreement by the parties to even vote on this in September. So we're in complete limbo land. But the great news, only 3 minutes into this video, is I'm going to give you facts and details about how to get a lot of money very soon, right in your pocket. This is not speculative money. This is not false hope. This is nothing but the same. This is money available for you. So let's get right to the details. First, one of the viewers, who actually is one of my mentors, actually said, share this with the viewers right away. It is a grant program. And what I'm going to explain to you very simply, if you don't understand, the word grant means it goes to your pocket. You don't have to repay it. It's another version of what some people call free money. Loan means it is money that goes in your pocket, but you have to give it back, perhaps over 30 years, but very slowly. All right, so this is a grant program. I want you to get a pen and paper, write it down. I'm going to be giving you a lot of information this morning, so get that pen and paper, put down the coffee, put down the butter, and let's get ready to it. The website you want to go to is L as in Larry, I as in Igloo, S as in Sam, C as in Charles.org. I'll say that again, LISC.org. Please understand, when I give you this information today, and I'm going to be doing it a lot over the next few days, don't email me and say, send me that link, or call, or send me a text. Send me that link. I'm giving the information on camera, so get it, because I won't be keeping track of this stuff because there's too much of it. LIC.org. This is a landing page for businesses seeking a small business relief grant. It's going to go live in just a few days, so I'm telling you ahead of time. The relief date, I believe, is August 15th. It's going to, late August. I think it's August 31st. This is going to go live. It is a $5,000 to $10,000 grant for small businesses. It's underwritten by Lowe's, but it's handled by LSC, is one of the country's largest social enterprises supporting projects and revitalization. What is the eligibility terms? They're very broad, so a lot of you may be qualified for it. Applicants may apply for one business only and must be 18 years of age. Business owners with multiple businesses, please complete this application based upon your largest business owned. You have to be certified that you're promoting the best interests of the community and negatively impacted by COVID-19. Nonprofits are ineligible. So go to lsc.org, $5,000 to $10,000 grant. A friend of a friend got it the last round. It does it in rounds. There's going to be a very big surge, so get it on file. Next, EIDL. EIDL loans are now becoming very attractive to viewers. And let me do the calculation for you right away. If EIDL is based upon, and this is a loan, this is not a grant. There's no more EIDL grant. This is a loan. EIDL loans are loans up to $150,000. But let me explain to you how simple you can get a loan funded in your bank account within 24 hours based upon your 2019 earnings. You have to look at your 2019 earnings, gross revenue, which is line 1 of your tax return, whether it's a Schedule C or your 1120S, and you look at that number, gross revenue, minus line 2, which is cost of goods sold, which a lot of you may be 0, and you divide it by 2. Very, very simple calculation. Gross revenue minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. How much could that give me, LALATE? A lot of money. Let me give you an example. If you were an Uber Lyft driver and did just, $10,000 in gross revenue last year, and I hope you declared it. I hope you declare taxes on this because that's what they're paying the loans are based upon. It's $10,000 minus whatever your cost of goods sold was. Let's say it's 0, divided by 2, $5,000. Bam. You could have $5,000 and will have $5,000 in your bank account within 24 hours of applying. Where do you apply? Again, don't send me smoke signals saying, do this for me, LALATE. No. It is very, very simple. Get a pen and paper. Ready? S as in Sam, B as in boy, A as in alpha, .gov. SBA.gov. When you're on the website, you look for the section that says COVID-19 application. And you look for the thing that says EIDL. It will say the long name also, Economic Injury Disaster Loan. You go on there and there's a streamlined application. It's called Streamlined Application, and you fill it out. If you fill out and you proceed accordingly. If you don't understand the whole process, which is insanely simple, it's very simple, watch our last video every single day, which is about EIDL loans. And that money could be in your bank account right away. Next, I'm just throwing out incredible sums of money here. Next, let me go over UI, unemployment assistance, and PUA. Oh wait, I forgot one thing. Let me go back. For EIDL, some viewers are asking, I didn't do my 2019 tax return. I didn't file it. Get it on file right now. Get it on file right now. I mean, just electronically file it today. Get your accounting statements out, get it on file, and then you proceed accordingly. I mean, why not get money in your pocket because you didn't file a 2-page tax return that takes you all of half an hour to do? It's just silly. Just get it on file, and there you go. All right, more great news is PUA and UI and FPUC under the prior calculation and the current calculation. Let me do this math for you because this is a lot of money. I have gotten viewers of this channel $10,000, $11,000 of this money. And what I need you to understand as we sit here today is I understand that for some of you, the stimulus check was your only lifeline. None of these other things qualify for you. I understand for some of you that's the situation. For a lot of you, however, you qualify for all these things that I'm talking about. So why would you sit around for a measly $1,200 check when you could be getting $10,000 or $20,000 or $15,000? And this is not false hope money. This is actually money that is ready to be landed in your account. And I get people get this money every single day. So let me go to the next one, FPUC and UI. What's important to understand is that if you never applied for UI or PUA, you need to do it if you qualify. And let me do the calculation for you about how much money this is, because people don't realize this is a great sum of money. Um, if you if your date of impact by COVID-19 as an independent contractor, like an Uber driver, um, was March 20th or something like that, because the lockdown was issued in your town and you saw your number of hours dropped. Remember, you only have to have the number of hours drop. You don't have to be a complete shutdown. And that was your date of impact. And you listen to my videos, which is the third video on Afternoons LA Late every day about FPUC, and you watch, then you say, I qualify for I qualify for PUA, I qualify for UI. Then you do the calculation. Watch this. Let's do California, for example. March, middle March is your date of impact you represent, if that's true. Okay, 169 is the base level benefits in California. That means the amount of money you usually enter and the California, how much money you start. They throw $600 on top of that. Yes, they're still paying $600 of FPUC if your date of impact was back before FPUC expired, which is late July. Now, some states I fully represent. Some states may not apply FPUC correctly and say you're coming to us too late. I fully represent it, but a lot of states are saying, hey, no, if your date of impact was before FPUC expired in late July, we're still paying you FPUC as we were supposed to, which is March to July. That's the rule of how FPUC was adopted. So $169 per week, base level benefits of California, throw $600 on top of that. You can do the math real fast. 600 plus 167. Okay, that's like, $700, $800. I got it. I do math better than Larry Kudlow. I got it. Okay, so that's $800 a week. Well, let's do how many weeks that is. March, April, May, June, July. I've done the math. It's $16,000. Yeah, $16,000. Why are we sitting around for the courtship of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, ordering some extra bagels from New York's Nosh, and sitting around hemorrhaging over Mark Meadows' kicking furniture when you could be getting $16,000 or $10,000 for a grant, or or $5,000 to a $150,000 EIDL loan overnight? Why are we doing this? Yes, the guy in the purple shirt is not going to let you sit on the sideline while two people can't figure out what they're doing. I'm going to ensure that you find money, and you find money right now. That's why I appreciate yesterday. Yesterday was was the second most watched day ever, but our highest day on a lot of stuff. We're now the #1 most watched channel in this space. We're doing over 1.5 million views every 24 to 48 hours. We're adding more subscribers by the day than anyone else. We have higher watch time. Everyone's turning here because we're all helping each other. Not because I'm trying to pitch you some, snake oil or try to sell you some glasses. I'm here helping you, and you're helping one another. This information is coming from other viewers saying, LLA, put this on air, help these other viewers. If you know something that's a grant program, I digress just for 1 second. If you know another grant program in your area, I don't care if your town's only 100 people, send me a DM on Instagram at LALate_, that thing that goes like that. Send me a DM and say, hey, do this on air. Don't drop it in the comments because I may miss it, because there's literally 10,000 comments a day now. It's incredible. All right, so let's go back to PUA. If you worked, if your date of impact is March to July, it could be upwards of $16,000. Now, that's before we do escalated benefits. More about that in a second. Next, under the Trump administration, it really does not look like states are going to pay this $300 a week. Yes, it's now $300 a week, but let's assume they do. July to September, if that's based upon the date of which the nincompoops come back to town and get something done, which we don't know they are, that would be upwards of $3,680 based upon my calculation, about $4,000 based upon these base level benefits. So this is incredible amounts of money. Now, escalated benefits, if you don't understand escalated benefits, I'm going to cover on today's FPUC UI video, that third video, which is a way that if you made over $30,000 last year, gross revenue, then you can qualify for escalated benefits. And basically all these numbers I just said, you just you double them. You could be seeing $32,000 in your bank account. It's an enormous sum of money. So why are we waiting around and doing that? Our teeth with $1,200 check. All right, so let's go back to some more checks. More talk about multiple stimulus checks, and actual first stimulus checks are landing in your bank accounts this week. So the first great news is that if you have a minor dependent who is 17 years of age and the IRS didn't know where they were because you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, or Railroad benefits, and you did a non-filer filing in the spring before you even met me, before we went on our first tango together, then that $500 check is landing in your bank account this week. Yes, the IRS confirmed yesterday that it's sending out the $500 check for those minor dependents, 17 years or age or younger, that didn't get that first stimulus check, for parents who did the non-filing filing for them. So this is really great news. If you are set up for electronic delivery, it's coming today or yesterday. And if you're set up for paper check, it's coming in the next week. I even had about 3 viewers say, hey, LALATE, I got it. I actually got it today, LALATE. And I know you did because I expected you to get it because the IRS actually had exact routing times. The IRS is really good about that on routing times. Next, this is not law, and this is not something that's up for a vote, but I wanted to tell you about something you need to be aware about, and it's not being political either, but it certainly has a political slant. President Trump had urged America and its Congress to give you a more generous check, the $1,200. He never gave it to you. To this day, he never did executive order. He never wrote a bill that gave you more than $1,200 checks. He never came through on that promise after he said $1,200 is not enough as a stimulus check by the Democrats. Well, the irony is that a lot of news reporters are now looking at what could happen in October or November if there is a Biden-Harris win. The reason why is not so much Joe Biden, but Kamala Harris, because she's the one who authored the bill that singularly all the viewers of this channel want, that $2,000 check for at least 6 months or until the pandemic ends. And her bill, which was co-authored with Bernie Sanders, is still on the Senate floor. It hasn't been tossed in the waste in the garbage can. And so a lot of people are now wondering if there is a Biden-Harris win, if multiple stimulus checks could come to you right away. We do know as a matter of policy, but not as a matter of specifics, that Joe Biden is starting to say very clearly in news statements yesterday that if elected, he promises that he will throw enormous amounts of stimulus, not this watered-down stimulus that we're seeing trickle out from in the last few days. He will throw enormous stimulus into this economy. Really quite interesting news. The economic data continues today across the board. I'm not going to belabor you on the economic data, but it's a mixture. It's not particularly great and it's not particularly bad. As you sit here today, there is new hope. And I hope you understand that it's not just false hope. It's actually real numbers. As a personal message, let me end with this. Yesterday, I saw an enormous surge of people who understood my videos late in the day as Nancy and Steve unraveled, and immediately were surging to go get EIDL money, EIDL loan money. We're surging to go get UI and PUA benefits. We're surging to go get this money. And I saw some of the comments. I can't read them and respond to all of them. But these were people who said, hey, I was working in 2019. I did this. I'm eligible for this. So it's so incredible. I mean, this is great news, is that one, the videos are informing you what you're eligible for. This is great news. Two, you know that you're entitled to the money. And three, for the most cases, you know where to go get them. Again, EIDL is at sba.gov. And PUA and UI, unemployment benefits, are at your state's unemployment website. You go to your state's unemployment website to apply for PUA and UI. As a new day starts on a Friday morning, and you have questions about PUA and UI, watch my video on Afternoons LALATE, the third one. And watch my EIDL video on LALATE Evenings, the last one. Finally, some people are still asking about hazard pay. It's not law. So a lot of people are saying, I want to go get that hazard pay today. It's not law. I'm sorry, it's still not law. But In some cases, your state and local municipalities, as I've detailed in recent videos, have hazard pay in place that you can apply for. It's not $10,000, it's a couple $100. Every penny helps. But for now, big dollars are out there ready for you to grab. Go get them. Stay informed, stay motivated. Coming up at afternoons, LALATE is the check, then hazard pay, FPUC, and rent assistance. And then coming up on evenings, LALATE is more about the check, your questions and answers. And finally, EIDL. Enjoy your Friday morning. You made it to the weekend. Have a great morning and see you this afternoon. Take care.